Why accept it? We accept the doctrine of the perpetual virginity because, as Catholics, the shepherding authority of the Church teaches it. Nevertheless, the ordinary magisterium does not contradict the New Testament. In fact, some biblical data are more easily explained if we accept this truth, says Raymond Brown. Moreover, Father Koretsky explains, we cannot fully accept the mystery of the Church and the importance of virginity in the life of individual Christians unless we understand these mysteries in the light of the perpetual virginity of Mary. Let's think about that. Father Rock claims that even before the explicit claims were made, belief in the perpetual virginity had already been implied in the analogy and mutual inclusion that the New Testament and patristic writers discovered between the mystery of the Church and Mary. The Church is called to be and remain a pure virgin. What do you mean by that, Father Rock? In the sense, he says, that her faith in Christ and her love for Christ should always remain one and undisturbed, pure, without distraction. Not that pure in the sense that sex is bad. How then could Mary, Father Rock asks, Mary, the anticipated realization of the Church in her final perfection, not have always remained a virgin? Koretsky explains that Mary's virginity is not based on Gnostic doctrine or hatred of the body, but on the understanding of virginity as a total consecration to God in pure and undivided love. The Docetic and later Gnostic documents also testify to Mary's perpetual virginity, but for a distorted anti-sexual reason. Matter is evil, sexual relations are bad because it increases matter. To be honest, brutally honest, such anti-sexual tendencies have influenced to some extent our monastic movement in the Church, and perhaps even some theological views about Mary, like St. Jerome's view. They're cousins. And Joseph was chaste too. That's why we say, following Jerome, her most chaste spouse. But the patristic argument for the perpetual virginity of Mary is not founded on Gnostic doctrine, nor contaminated by an anti-sexual tendency, but rather is founded on the understanding of virginity as a total consecration to God in pure faith and undivided love. I like a lot what Father Rock is saying here. But I got to ask, what does virgin mean in the first century? For Father Rock, it's uncompromised devotion. Koretsky says that it was unthinkable for the Church after the 4th century. What about the 1st century? After the 4th century, that Mary, totally consecrated to God by Christ, whom she conceived through faith before she conceived him in her womb, would compromise this consecration by sexual relations. Not because they're ugly or bad or dirty, but because it would be a distraction from her complete self-donation to God. Let it be done unto me according to thy word. That's nice. Does that answer satisfy us, 21st century American Christians?